Good morning, YouTube fans. This is Dr. Matthew Johnson. It is Sunday morning, August 27, 2017, 8:50 a.m. And we are at the Southern Oregon Interaction Area, otherwise known as SOIA. We have just spent our third night up here, and I have some guests with me that if you've watched the videos down below, then you've met them. Starting with
Robert Quinn.
From?
Yelm, Washington.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say about yourself?
I refuse to answer on the grounds that it might incriminate me.
There we go. Next.
Eva from Rainier. I'm in the healing arts.
In the healing arts. There we go.
Yeah. The evolution.
Joel Kaminskis from Rainier, Washington, sales rep at Crosspoint Northwest Auto Auction in Portland.
Used car salesman.
Okay, next.
Nancy Popolarsik from Rainier, Washington. I am a real estate agent with my home group out of Rainier.
Yes, and she's also Cynthia's and my real estate agent. She's going to get our house sold and move us up to our new home. Last but not least, I've seen this guy somewhere before. You are?
Grady Johnson, and I work for You Do a Good Job at Being a Brat.
Oh, you do a good job at being a brat. Grady Johnson from Grants Pass, Oregon. Woo! Also happens to be number 4 spawn. So we are going to do what we did yesterday and kind of have a conversational discussion about how it all went. What happened last night? What happened yesterday? Talk loud as well.
Well, Robert stayed back here.
While
I was left alone on the mountain.
yes, with no vehicle.
But
Yeah.
you did have Zeus.
Yes, you had Zeus, the official mascot of Team Squatch in USA.
We decided to, Zeus and I decided to get into the shade down the avenue of the portal to all places in the universe and put the cot under the trees. And I became aware that I was being approached, and it was daytime, but I knew it was not by a dangerous human. I knew it was by a cloaked adolescent, and I knew who it was. I had a very strong feeling it was Mogdu, who's a teenager. Anyway, but the confirmation of that knowingness that I was being approached was confirmed by the dog, who sat up, looked in that direction at the same time, and took off toward the being that was coming toward us. So I said hello, but I just kept kind of sleeping. But when I woke up, it was hot, so I didn't have my shirt on, but when I woke up, well, I know this is a family video, but so I won't take my shirt off, but it was off. But when I woke up, I had this stick put right into my arm like this. So
you woke up
with this stick
tucked in there.
And so that adolescent was goofing on me.
Yeah.
He thought that was very funny, but the stealth of these beings is extraordinary, because once he decided that he gave me enough information to know that he was approaching, and then after he got within about 15 feet, I was completely unaware that he was there, but he managed to come in and
Calling card.
and do that. I couldn't even feel it, and then and then he took off, I guess, is what occurred. So there it is.
Cool.
This will go on eBay. We'll start at $100.
Yeah. Okay, so then it got darker, and we were continually off the mountain.
They were still not here. It was 10 o'clock. It was pitch black.
And we still weren't back.
They still weren't back, and I heard many young feet run into our bedroom area.
The base camp, yes.
The base camp, and that sent my adrenaline up. And then there was But I had the sense that the children were told to be less rambunctious because there was a solitary human here who might just, you know, get freaked out, which was true. So then I heard this heavy whoosh, whoosh, whoosh type breathing sound in the center of camp. Then there was, after the children were told to calm down, there was a lot of twig breaking, 360 all the way around. So I had a feeling that the children were being allowed to gather to look at these odd humans when they arrived. And then there was also rock smashing.
Huh? Okay.
Bang, 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 probably 6 or 7 times.
How close to camp was that?
That was probably 300 feet up the hill.
Okay, toward the Council of 12 Hill.
Yeah,
okay.
it was maybe midway up the Council of 12 Hill.
Okay, cool. Who's next?
Well, I think we got in what, 9:30, 9:40.
10.
10.
I think we got in at 10 is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
And we took about 10 or 15 minutes to rummage around and get our stuff together so we could sit around and look at the 12 o'clock position. And within moments to minutes, there were shimmering images of what I would describe as juveniles or young ones that were in the 3 to 5 foot height range. They would turn and move, and you could see the shape of head, you could see shoulders, you could see some dim eyes, dim red eyes, and they were at that time I think 4, 5, 6 feet away, and I pointed them out, and everybody kind of acknowledged that they saw them, and then they got really close, like within a foot or two, and would come right up. They came up to me a few times. They came up to Robert and Eva and Nancy, and they were very, very close, and they seemed very, very inquisitive. And Matt. They came up to Matt too.
Yeah, Matt. They went up to Matt.
They went up to Matt. Because I don't want to forget that.
That's right.
And at some point, we were drifting in and out of various conversations and chapters of a certain ebook that's yet to be printed. But at some point, I saw behind Matt, because it was mostly juveniles.
It was behind Matt.
It was behind Matt.
Sure.
A very large, very tall, shimmering image with the eyes, and it appeared to be in the 10-foot range.
As in the Zorth range.
As in the Zorth range.
You called it too. You said, I think it's Zorth.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was the biggest of the big, so.
Yeah.
So that's what I saw last night.
Okay, anybody else?
Same experience. I mean, a lot of the juveniles were literally right by all of us. And we were discussing our experience as it was happening. So it was interesting how at one point, like simultaneously, everybody was ready for bed. It was like we were done.
After a couple hours, I think.
It was just like, okay, let's go to bed. And it seemed as if I went right out. I think sleep last night was heightened. And interesting what you actually observed through all that, so I'll let you explain that, but it was
It's
a
Matt's
good
turn.
night's sleep.
Eva hasn't said a whole lot.
That's okay. And now, you know, what he and she said, but also we saw a lot of just flybys, like a lot of
Orbs.
moving shadows.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yes.
Orb type being like
Zipping
probably
around.
more than other nights that I saw, just zipping around. Even saw one just shoot up through the trees, like, you know, it went up. So, and through the kitchen area, well, because we could see it against that white table easier. Yeah, that was a little different from the other nights.
There was many zipping by the tables, many
Yeah,
of them.
I saw that too.
So what about the flashing white light from the Council of 12 hill
awesome.
over and over. What about
Yes.
that?
There's way more activity last night with that.
High up on the trees, you would see flashes.
We
That would pop every now and again at several points through the night when we were up.
Yep.
Quite a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We took a hike up the Council of 12 hill and found an area. Eva found an area where she is thinking the portal might be, and certainly seems with the positioning of the light flashing this trip, the trip before, during the eclipse. That area that you found, Eva, probably is where the portal is up on that hill.
And there is a pathway directly from that portal down the hill, and it's marked at the bottom with a rock sitting on an anomalous, a different kind of granite sitting on top of a big rock pointing up.
And
Right.
it's this round bare spot in the middle of this lush foliage, and I was going, why are there no plants growing there? So there, you know, and sometimes when there's an electromagnetic field.
Not only that, it
Yeah.
looks like there's been a lot of traffic, although
Right.
there was no footprints. There seemed to be a lot of traffic there.
Oh yeah, because there was a path going in and out of that circle.
Yeah.
Yes.
We did see footprints a little bit lower up, though, that were, when we came back that
Right.
way, there was
Yeah.
a few footprints that we found.
Yeah.
Well, I think when they come through the portal, they come through as orbs, possibly, and they don't have feet until they land, 20 feet beyond.
Footless.
And then forward.
Or Bigfoot or footless.
So then, last night around 2:35 a.m. over in the sleeping area, we're kind of in the middle of packing up right now, so the cots are no longer all there,
The best you
but
see is Nancy's.
Joel, yeah. Joel's cot was right there, and I heard 3 of them run in this direction and surround his cot. And then the older adult was standing about 10 feet away from his cot, and the 3 were all talking and began working on him. And then they moved over to Nancy's cot, worked on her, worked on Robert, worked on Eva, and we're working on Grady. And then around 5:25 a.m., apparently just before that there was some loud shriek. What did it sound like, Joel?
I'm gonna do my best, but it was like, yee! Yee!
Do you know what direction that was coming from?
I heard everything from around the 2 o'clock position, but I was
Okay.
laying down, so I could have been mistaken.
Okay, so you heard that, and then I shot up in my cot. I sat up, and I was right here, and I sat up, and I immediately looked over at the road, and I actually saw a very tall Squatch standing right here. And as soon as he saw me looking at him, he shot up through the brush and trees and started walking up the hill. And he was making kind of a noise, which was weird. And he wasn't doing tree popping this time like he's done in the past. But I wasn't the only one that heard that, was I?
No, after I heard the shrieking,
Yeah.
I heard 5 or 6 very large, very thunderous bipedal footsteps.
Yeah.
That seemed to have some urgency with them, like it was almost a trot or a jog.
Yeah.
And it was thump, crunch, thump, crunch, thump, crunch. And I said, wow, I've never heard anything like that ever.
Yeah.
It sounded like it was a massive, massive creature, whatever was making that noise.
And then I believe you said, Matt, did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
That's when you both woke me up. Why didn't you throw a rock in the mat or something?
Yeah. So, do we have anything else to add to what we experienced last night? Nothing? It was boring.
Are we staying for several more
Snoring.
nights?
Okay, well, we're going to close this puppy out so we can pack up the truck and get going. I'm going to ask the routine questions that I ask everybody. Ready? Here we go. At any time did I hypnotize any of you?
You're very charismatic. I'm gonna give it to you.
How would we know?
How would you know? Okay, thank you. Number 2, at any time did I give you any drugs?
Well, we had
No.
beverage.
Well,
No.
we, had tequila. We brought our own stuff.
Yeah, you brought your own stuff.
Tequila.
At any time did I pay you to lie or stick a gun in your head and make you lie?
Negative.
No.
No. Thank you for being 10, Grady. Okay. And how much did you have to pay me to come along? What was the expedition fee charge?
Fairly free.
Okay.
Zip.
Okay.
Zip. Zip.
I just had to sign over my Social Security.
Your Social Security check?
Call
That's right.
every month.
Give all your belongings to Dr. J. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, did you have fun on this trip?
None. We had none. We had
No fun?
It was the most boring trip ever.
It was
It was amazing.
definitely the
Yeah.
most outrageous thing I've ever done. It
It
was
was-
just fabulous.
Yeah. It was.
Can't wait to come back.
Can't wait to come back. You think you're coming back? Is that what I just heard?
We
laughed
know
more
we're
than
coming
we
back.
Are you saying there's a chance?
I am saying that's probably more than a chance.
All right.
Yeah.
I accept.
Is this an awesome squatching place on planet Earth?
I've ever been on.
I can't imagine it being any better
Yeah.
in terms of
it was
squatchiness.
amazing.
So,
Yeah, it was amazing. It exceeded expectations.
Yeah, this place is to Squatchdom what the Vatican is to mind control.
Good job, Robert.
Yeah.
Good job.
You know, it's always nice to have our own little personal wizard along with us. I appreciate it. Yeah, okay. We're signing off and packing up. This is Dr. J signing out.